So, Oscar movies are upon us. It's that time of year again where they come out, and we've got two trailers, Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk and Man Down, both about war veterans and how they're dealing with it afterward. This looks right up the lane of things that would be considered for Oscar season performances, Best Picture, directing, writing,
and
all
they
that
both
stuff.
have like huge casts in them, so like
Yeah, and very, touching subject matter. I mean, they're both, like I said, war veterans.
so
and
we just watched both trailers back to back, and this is the first time I've seen either one of these trailers. So which one do you think looks like it's going to be?
I think. Well, here's the thing.
Caught you more?
They both have characters that are dealing with, whether it's PTSD or anything other like related relationship wise to coming home from the worst situation that a soldier can go through. I mean, it looks like they witness things that are extremely difficult to talk about, and that's going to cause a lot of drama. And this film is very relatable to a lot of veterans, and I think it's going to be very touching to watch. Man Down is starring Shia LaBeouf, and there's a lot to be said about this actor. First of all, I have a soft spot for Shia LaBeouf. I've watched him since freaking Even Stevens. So, but I will admit, he's an oddball, right? I mean, people mention a lot about his sort of crazy, whether or not he's crazy or is he really an artist, like that kind of shit. Like, he does a lot of different type of things.
But his like performances are like when he's actually in like a dramatic role, his performances are so good. Like they're so gut wrenching, and that like watching that trailer, just like the like face he makes when he's trying to talk to Gary Oldman. Like,
it looks like he's gonna destroy Gary Oldman in that scene.
Yeah,
that's Gary Oldman. Here's a guy. Shia LaBeouf's a dude. Okay, he was a child actor, right? And Even Stevens a goofball. Then he kind of went into that whole blockbuster thing. Bam Bam, Transformers 1, 2, 3, Indiana Jones, making millions and millions. He's that blockbuster kid, right? That little hero. Still kind of a goofball, but he went through that. The movies weren't super great, and you can tell, whether it's through his like art installments or performances like these, that he absolutely cares about this craft more so than most
he cares
actors
about
you'll find.
everything. Like,
and Brad Pitt even said, I think on Fury, I don't know if you saw that, where they're the tank crew in World War II, that Brad Pitt was like, Shia LaBeouf, in one way or another, he said, he's not messing around when he acts. He's all about it. He's all in.
Yeah.
And you can see that in this Man Down trailer. And I will say, Shia LaBeouf is so good. I think the first time he gets nominated for an Oscar, I think he's going to win. He's one of those dudes.
But because he's been around long enough.
He's never been in a conversation like, Shia LaBeouf might get nominated for an Oscar this time. He's going to be like Matthew McConaughey, sort of, where it's like out of nowhere, one for one, bam. He's gonna have a big year. I don't know if this one's it. I mean, he's definitely done stuff like this before with Lawless, like that super emotional.
This is more. This is like
this is
so much further down.
A war veteran with a lot he's not saying. It's hard to say, And
also, this is interesting that it says in a post-apocalyptic America. What does that mean?
Post-apocalyptic America.
It like definitely says
former
that.
U.S. Marine Gabriel Drummer searches desperately for the whereabouts of his son, accompanied by his best friend and a survivor. So this film, it's got a lot of themes going on, and he's at the center of it. It sounds like, and
so not only is it like kind of turning the war thing on its head a little bit, it seems like, but it's also deeply like gut-wrenchingly emotional. Like I think that's definitely something that'll
and I'm not saying he's going to win an Oscar or anything. I'm saying that he's
someday
he has that.
He's going to, though.
He's a caliber of actor where it wouldn't surprise me. That's all I'm saying. Like Shia LaBeouf, like he's really good.
I will watch
he's
this
such
movie.
a good actor.
Definitely, I will watch this movie though. And
Man Down. So that trailer looks great. I think.
That's not to say. What is it, Billy
Lynn's Long Halftime Walk.
That's
that
interesting.
is the other trailer that
What's
we
interesting
watched.
because both of them are being told. It seems like through flashbacks of like an interesting, like, the halftime walk thing. So it's like the whole halftime walk he's doing that, and the flashbacks are happening. That's interesting. That's like a different way to tell that story.
Yeah, it's like we're learning what really happened over there at the same time as the other characters, and these main characters are the only ones who know the whole time, and it's up to them to tell the story, which is cool. I think that's a great way to write a movie like this, with it's like that tortured thing. It's so hard to say.
Yeah. I think
I love that
because
it's so true.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think some of the best cinematic moments are when a character is feeling something and you are kind of there with them because you've seen it and it's something that they can't put into words. And that's what cinema can do better than any other medium, where like there's something that the character can't put into words and we get to experience it with them and then see like why it's so hard to put into words. And when you see that character, the actor going through that, trying to explain it or whatever, and not being able to do that, and you just see it in their face and you can feel it in your like stomach that like
yeah.
Like I gotta use the reference of Interstellar whenever Matthew McConaughey's driving away from his daughter and he's like pounding against the steering wheel and like it's the gut-wrenching feeling of it. Like that's something you can't explain. You have to see it and you have to feel it. Like
and Billy Lynn, I think it looks a lot more polished than Man Down. It's not as gritty.
Which, like, I don't know if I like that in a war movie.
Ang Lee's directing it.
It'll be beautiful.
He's a classic
it'll
Oscar
look great.
dude. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a good movie. I think...
Do you think both will get nominated for an Oscar?
Well, Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, absolutely. It's going to be up for Best Picture. I guarantee it. Best Director, yes. Man Down... I don't know. There's been so many great performances by certain actors, and it's all timing. This one might get overshadowed by something bigger, like Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. There's just something about it, and it might not even be a wide release. This Man Down film, but that's not to say that it's not going to be good. I mean, what are Oscars anyway? They're just something to put on the Blu-ray cover. So
how many good movies was Leo in before he got an Oscar? And I honestly think Revenant, like, although I thought that was an amazing movie, was not his best movie.
Not his, his
best performance.
Right, but so in the end, it doesn't really matter. But Billy Lynn's, that's just set up to be in the conversation for.
I think Billy Lynn will be bigger. I think I personally will like Man Down more.
Exactly.
But I'm excited for both of them.
Shia LaBeouf, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
You looked into meta modern art, his whole like thing, his whole like.
Oh yeah.
That's like.
See, that's what the thing is. Like people.
Like caring.
Like with actors, actors. It's like, look, as someone totally detached, like a viewer, they think like, excuse me, Shia LaBeouf, you're an actor, so act. Like, don't do all that other shit. You know what I mean? Or like Kanye, don't do all.
I was just thinking that.
Don't do fashion or something. That inconveniences me somehow. You have to release albums. That's the only thing you can do. Shia LaBeouf, you can only be in movie. Like, that's bullshit.
They're artists.
They can do whatever the fuck they want, first of all.
Think of all the things that, like, Andy Warhol did. And no one, like... Or maybe they did, like, chastise him for trying to make movies and stuff like that. Or, like, working within different mediums.
People are just... A lot of people are inherently like that. They think, they can only fit in one thing. And they might think it's because if they do other things, that their main... skill or their main talent or the thing that got them famous in the first place will suffer because they are putting time into other things. Shia LaBeouf, I think is going to show them, like, look, motherfuckers, like, I can do whatever I want and deliver a performance like this.
I think Kanye's a better musical artist because he dabbles in these other art things. Like, when you're an artist and you pull from other experiences, that makes your art that much better. Like, Shia LaBeouf having this whole, like, art movement about, like, being as self-aware and as like feeling everything and really caring about everything and taking that into his acting is just going to make his acting that much better.
With Kanye, since we're talking about him again, you can only progress.
Kanye always pops up somewhere.
Or any rapper or performing artist where it begins and ends with them. Shia LaBeouf, he didn't write this movie. I'm sure, he's owning the role, that's for sure. But like with musicians or something, or artists, you can only progress so far. You can only rap about not having money so much, and then you can only rap about finally getting money so much, and then you can rap about more money, more problems, So to progress the way Kanye or even Jack White, like how they just sort of switch lanes a little bit every now and then, like you got to do that or you're not going to survive, or else you'll just be making the same shit over and over again. And for some people that's great, but that's why it's like then Jay-Z said, if you like my old stuff, then go listen to my old stuff. Like it's there. Like
yeah. If you like the moral of the story is if you like Shia LaBeouf for Transformers, then go watch
Transformers. Yeah, and don't look at his art stuff.
Yeah. It's not for you.
Point is, I think he's gonna kill it in this movie. Billy Lynn looks really good.
Down.
So Billy Lynn, I think, is the more polished, wide release, more popular, and Man Down is maybe the grittier,
a little more art house,
limited release.
Post-apocalyptic. That's so. I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, doesn't look like they're overdoing it, either. You know, be nice to see a realistic post-apocalyptic. Like, what is the apocalypse really? You know what I mean? Like, is it where we the bubble burst that we're in now, like this tech bubble? When that bursts, like, are we gonna be in a? You know, it's tough. Or is it literally like Mad Max, where it looks like the fucking apocalypse?
Yeah.
So okay, awesome. Shia LaBeouf, keep killing it. And then and then when Netflix revives Even Stevens, better be up for that too. Win a mother.
Have you watched the Shia LaBeouf music video thing?
Do it.
That too. Man, he's just like...
See, that's the shit that people are like, oh, he's weird. Like, what the fuck's he doing?
He's
like,
just a meme now. He's aware that he's a meme, guys.
Yeah, he's also a fucking awesome actor who's going to kill it in this movie. And it's an important role, too. You know, don't give that to anybody. A war veteran, like, it's a fragile role, I think. And it can go wrong so many ways. I mean, do it! They should revive Even Stevens. I'm not even fucking kidding. That would be so cool.